What's up, everybody? How are you? Well, it's not a special edition today. It's Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster, with my co-host today, my wife. And we have some friends coming in with us tonight. Uh, Happy Monday. I hope everybody is safe and sound wherever you are, what borough, city, state. Um, Crime is still crime. Things are still happening out here in the world. Please be careful. And whatever you're doing, you have to watch your back and take care of your families and yourself. Please, you know, there's still a variant out here. Watch yourself. Uh, a lot of us, can get a little lackadaisical with what's going on out here and think that uh, it's all right to just come out and play in the street. Hey, Pearlie, happy birthday today. Pearl, it's your birthday. Go, shorty. What? Thank you all for chiming in. Those that will be chiming in. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forson, with my co-host. The Pastor Kevin Graves, I think he'll be coming in tonight too. I don't know. He's been on all over. Pastor's been all over. So we have to catch him when we see him. Now to deal with the sponsorships. First and foremost, if you're watching Real Talk Chronicles from YouTube, subscribe to it. If you're watching it from Facebook, via Malika's page, my page, under the page, share it, subscribe to it. Share it. And all you got to do is you'll see the 3 little prompts, and it'll tell you what to do, how to share it. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. But with that being said and saying all that, first and foremost, let me get the sponsors out the way. Real Talk is sponsored by Melba's Restaurant on 8th Avenue, Adam Clayton Powell. No, that's Frederick Douglass, Frederick Douglass and 114th Street. It's also sponsored by Chocolat on 114th Street. And, I'm all over the place tonight. Melba's is on 114th Street. Chocolat is on 120th Street and 8th Avenue, Adam Clayton Powell. Yeah, I know Adam Clayton Powell. What is it with me and Adam Clayton Powell today? Frederick Douglass, Chocolat, and the owners, Leon Ellis and Melba Wilson. Leon also has Harlem Underground. It's an online store now, but it has nice clothing and stuff like that. This is also sponsored by the Deadly Art magazine. Please get your editions. You can find them on Amazon. This is the last edition right there that's out right now. It's the Kung Fu edition. If you want to read about yours truly, I am in this edition. So please. It's also sponsored by Ingram Taxes. They will help you with your taxes. If you need some taxes done, this is tax season, you got to reach out to Ingram Taxes. They will help you with your taxes. No client is too big or too small. And last but not least, the most important, about the Soft Illusions Art Gallery. Yours truly.
Hello.
That's my wife's art gallery. And please feel free to support my wife or any of these other sponsors. Melba's Wilson's, Leon Ellis, Chocolat, Deadly Arts Magazine, Amazon, and Soft Illusions Art Gallery. Malika can put that in there later on if she chooses to let you know if you want to see anything from the gallery.
I'm having a taste for Melba's and Chocolat, so yeah, I'm looking forward to dining. Olu, it's so good to see you. I know it's been a while, so thank you.
Hi, Malika. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
How are you doing, Olu?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing fine.
Good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an attorney here in New Jersey and Philadelphia, and I also practice in New York.
Okay.
And basically, I do civil rights cases and some very serious accident cases too.
Oh, wow. So we're going to have to bring you on some Wednesdays too, because we talk a lot of stuff about law enforcement issues and things of that magnitude. And I would love to get your take from a legal standpoint and see what you feel about certain issues. But the
Sure.
elephant in the room tonight. Oh, wait a minute, we have somebody else coming in.
It's a big elephant, right? Big elephant.
The big elephant in the room tonight is Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Chris Rock. Let's bring Vanetta in so we can say hi to Vanetta. We have another person joining the panel tonight. And we have Vanetta Harris in the building. What's going on, babe?
Hi.
How are you? How you doing
Good
tonight?
to see you.
I'm doing good. I got my workout in and had no fun today. And, you know, I was like, I haven't been on here in a long time. So I was like, let me get on this topic.
Yeah, well, this is the topic that we all want to discuss.
Yeah, it's a hot topic. So Vanetta, Olu Vanetta.
Hi, nice to meet you, Vanetta.
Hi, sir. How are you? Nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah. So with this being said and saying all that, if you've been living under a rock, you didn't see the show last night. Will Smith got up. Chris Rock made a joke. Matter of fact, let's just go to the videotape and show them, sweetheart.
Okay, I have to pull it up.
Okay, so I'll keep talking. So we're going to show it. So Chris Rock was presenting last night. He makes a joke. Come to find out, those weren't his jokes. That was said. Of course, you know, sometimes people write for you. You have ghost writers and stuff like that. And he made a joke about Jada coming out in G.I. Jane Part 2. Will's laughing at this. He's enjoying this. Jada takes a problem to it, has offense to it. She's suffering from, what is it called?
Alopecia.
Alopecia, which is not a deadly disease. But it's a disease, we understand. And
So it's interesting because I know we're about to look at, there's a few videos we're going to show. I've heard of alopecia before. I don't personally know anyone who has it. And I did hear that Jada is suffering from alopecia. So, you know, that was the reason why she decided to shave her head. And, you know, we, black, white, yellow, whatever color we are very sensitive about our hair, right? So I think every time people see me, I'm going just a little bit shorter and a little bit more gray, but it's all good. You know, I've earned it and I'm embracing it. So, you know, it was just very, very interesting. And I also have to say, I'm not usually one to make a point to sit down and watch the Oscars. You know, if I'm up or bored or, you know, then I'll tune in. But I was very interested in watching last night because two hometown guys, you know, received nominations, Will Smith and Questlove. So I was just rooting for them. Questlove, right?
Yeah.
Look, the drummer. I'm still in work mode. But yeah, I mean, I'm just like, go Philly, go Philly. I'm a North Philly girl, born and raised. And Will is from West Philly, as we all know. So on the edge of my seat, you know, just waiting to see if they were going to win. And it just, towards the end of the show, took a sour note, as we all have seen and been talking about all day. So, you know.
Also, too, we have to give props to Will Packer and the other young ladies.
Yes.
What's her name?
Sarah, I think.
Sarah, yes. You know, first time in history, we have people of color producing the Oscars. And it was very well attended and structured and and sharing multicultural issues going on. With that being said, I think it turned out to be a big embarrassment for people of color, first and foremost. I just think it was a shame that people of color had to act out like that in lieu of just, you know, hey, but, you know, we have issues that we need to solve within our own community. But the thing is, this whole smacking somebody is bigger than that night. It's about Jada and Chris. She wanted Chris to boycott in the past 2016 because Will didn't get nominated, and a lot of people didn't get nominated. It wasn't really supported within the African and Latin community. And Chris was like, "Yo, I'm not boycotting that per se." And next thing you know, boom. So before we go to this video, I want to ask you, Vanetta, what did you think of what you saw last night? And then Alu, what did you think?
Well, let's be clear about the Oscars. They ain't never been for Black people. Let's be clear about that note. The first person who won an award was the lady who played a maid
Yes.
on Gone with the Wind.
Mm-hmm.
And she was never asked again.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Another nomination we won didn't happen until Sidney Poitier when he played I forget the name of the movie. Guess Who's Coming Over for Dinner? If I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, who was the next nomination? The guy who played the Soldier Story, I believe.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Gossett Jr. won a supporting role. So now we're talking about like almost 40, 50 years later, we're nominated. The Oscars has never recognized the talent that we bring to the table. They never have. The only reason why Denzel got nominated for Training Day and not Malcolm X was because Julia Roberts petitioned for him to be nominated. But he won for Training Day, but not Malcolm X. And when the guy who won Best Actor opposed to Denzel Washington, he was so shocked he didn't believe it. So let's be clear about the Oscars. They never support us, never will, never have. Yeah, we got a little bit of us up in there, but I mean, we're not judged based on the context of our job, of their jobs. They're based on they're judged by their skin. Secondly, this beef with Chris and Will goes way back. I'm talking about the 90s. So this is not the first time that Chris has said something slick to Will. And Will has told him.
Vanetta, because I knew nothing of, I mean,
yeah,
I don't follow things that closely when it comes to celebrities, but I mean, last night and this morning is my first time ever hearing that they had some kind of beef.
Yeah, this started back when Jada and Tupac were no longer dating. Chris always had something to say, and it's always directed at Jada. So this did just happen just last night. It was the straw to put the camel's back. Now I have a friend of mine who suffers from alopecia, and she went through a mental breakdown. I mean, you know, woman's hair is her crown. And to wake up one day and see clumps of hair falling off of you, and then on top of it, to be a public figure and know that you've always had beautiful hair all your life, and to wake up one day and just to see that clumps of your hair is falling out, that can weigh on any woman. I don't care if you're a public figure, private figure, whatever, because our hair says a lot about us. And my friend, she went through it mentally, and it's not a curable medical condition. It can't be cured. You can't take supplements, get shots in your head and all that to cure it. It's a condition that's incurable. Now, is it life-threatening? No. But if I know she has alopecia, and the only way it became public was Willow, her daughter, did a public video. And I don't follow celebrities that close, just so I just have to catch things when I catch them. And her daughter posted a video of her cutting her hair and putting it out there that her mother suffers from alopecia. That's how it became public. Now I'm not gonna live with Chris, but how did I know it and he don't know?
Right.
And I think it was tasteless in reference to what he said. If you look at Will, that one I laughed like, oh my God, that was so funny. That was so funny.
Yeah.
You look up to his wife and the embarrassment, humiliation she had to suffer. You know, he got to go home with that woman. He has to go home and lay in the bed with her.
Yeah. I mean, I also have to say, I think she's, you know, just physically absolutely beautiful with hair or without.
She is beautiful. You know, she's gorgeous. But when you wake up and you've had hair down to here and you got clumps coming out, that can weigh on a woman. Especially when women have been dehumanized for her hair, texture of her hair, the style.
But I just want to say, you know, and this is my kudos to her for how she's dealing with it. And nobody knows with anyone what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
But right now, and I'm not sticking up for Jada all the way, because later on, once we look at the video, we'll talk about that part. But just in terms of it's out. I think I read that she was first diagnosed 4 years ago in 2018. And I like her style. And yeah, she has a whole team of people to help her out with that, and a lot of money to help her out with it. But there's a lot of women who, for different reasons, are losing their hair, and people don't know why. So I do, sympathize with that, and I think people should just, walk gingerly with that, because we really don't know what people are going on. But in terms of just from a physical appearance, I love how she's carrying herself. I think it's absolutely beautiful to see a woman in her natural state, and especially, with hair or without hair. And it's just not fair for anyone to attack that. But, the other side of the conversation is, well, how do you go about handling that, and the timing of it? So, and that's what the big topic has been about all day. Of course, I've been Team Will up until 11 o'clock last night for all these because there's a time and place for everything. And
I don't know. I don't know. I can't say he was right or wrong, because I don't know what I would do in this situation. We all can sit back like, oh, I would never do that. You don't know.
It's so easy to be.
It's so easy to say that I would never do that, and then next thing you know, you slap. You're like, oh my God, and slap somebody.
But wait, when you first saw that, Vanetta, let me ask you, and Olu also, because I know when we were watching the TV, I was like, okay, that's like a skit, right? Like they're just playing. But then I said, no, he really leaned hard to the right.
He went.
That looked real.
What?
So, I don't know. Did you think the same thing? Did you guys think
that was like, did he just slap him, or was that a skit? But then when you said, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth, and this whole content, I was like, oh, that was for real. Yeah. But my question.
Hold on, Vanetta.
Olu,
I want to ask Olu. Yeah,
I was about to chime in. Olu, go ahead.
Yeah, look, I saw it, and my first impression, it was real, because I could hear the sound of his slap on his chin. So I knew immediately that was real. But like I said to Bill earlier on, the whole thing is deeper than that. And I have really some mixed feelings about the entire incident on both sides. One, to answer one of your questions earlier on, Malika, there is a Black woman who is a representative from Massachusetts that has the same type of disease. And she talks about how she gets bullied because, if you know, she's in the House of Rep. She's bald-headed. I forgot her name. It is a disease. So I'm looking at it from the point of view of someone suffering a medical condition,
right,
and getting targeted for jokes about that medical condition.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. Because if you have to look at it from that point of view, you might understand what compelled Will to react the way he did. Okay, I'm not justifying it, but I can understand his emotions. Okay, and it's really difficult to judge someone in that perspective.
Right.
We all can come and not being the victim, so to speak, of that incident and come up with plausible ways how he should have reacted.
Right. Right.
But you never really know unless you are in that situation, because emotion sometimes can lead to irrational behavior, and then after a while your face clears up and you're like, shit, what the hell did I do?
Like, oh shit, I just did that in front of millions
of people. Yeah. But at that point, he wasn't thinking about that.
No.
Imagine, because it's the same thing, and somebody said something in a Facebook thread that I was like, you know what, that's for real. What if it wasn't that type of disease? What if it was somebody who had cancer
Right.
and was going through this and lost their hair?
AIDS. What they had AIDS?
Or AIDS or something, you know?
Right.
Shouldn't Chris have done his research and homework to know why she's bald and be sensitive to that as compared to just wanting to make a joke that she's bald?
Or, you know, it was kind of a compliment too. And I don't know, I haven't personally seen G.I. Jane, but just when I remember it, like, did she play like a really strong character?
No, yeah, but don't forget one thing. Chris even said that after Will slapped him. I said, I was just making a joke, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
but
was a tasteless joke.
The person receiving the joke,
right,
is thinking something else. I have a disease. I don't want G.I. Joe, whatever it is, she shaved her hair intentionally. Not because she had any disease, but she wanted to look fierce.
Right.
It is not the same.
Well, listen, let me just say this. This is Real Talk Chronicles, and I'm your host, Bill Foster, with my co-host, Malika Foster. And we got Alu,
Malika,
and Vanetta in the building. And listen, thank you to everybody that's chiming in. They got so many questions and comments and statements. I'm going to try to get to all of them, but that's why this is such a hot topic, and everybody wants to talk about this tonight. So I just want to ask you two a question real quick. I know I've heard both of you explain the situation. Do you feel Will was right or wrong?
He was wrong smacking him on live television.
Okay. Vanetta,
okay, from my point, he shouldn't have reacted that way.
All right, hold on.
I can't judge him for doing it.
You can't. Why you can't judge him?
Because I don't know how I will have reacted either. I might have done the same thing in the heat of the moment and then, regret doing it. It's very hard to judge someone when you are not in their shoes. Okay, I don't agree with him.
All right, let me just ask you a question. Do you think if that was Mike Tyson up there, you think he would have slapped him?
Mike could have slapped him. Let me just tell you.
I'm talking about, do you think Will would have slapped Mike Tyson?
He might have. You don't know. Look, let me tell you something. When someone is really aggrieved, they are not looking at the consequence of their action. They are just doing it because of the grievance they're going through.
But
let me just say this one. I'm sorry, Malika.
It's okay.
Let me tell you what, regardless of it though, I respect Chris for not making it worse. Because Chris could have reacted too and slapped him back, and it would be something else we're talking about.
Right. Much respect to Chris, because
so I have to give him, regardless of him provoking it, I have to give him that respect for not reacting back to it like that.
Yeah, something tells me, I've never met Mike Tyson, I've never even met Will Smith, but something tells me he would have thought us, paused a bit before approaching Mike Tyson like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but Bill, the same question goes the other way. Do you think Chris will have done that to a Mike Tyson wife, looking at him like that, right there in the public? Do you think Chris will have done that?
Because let me tell you something. And I was trying to get a comedian on tonight, and if he replies to me, we'll bring him on. But the thing is, a comedian's job is to be comical, and in comedy, it has always been insulting to a certain degree. Not so. Sometimes comedians go overboard, but the comedians make fun of people. So in lieu of when a comic is up on stage, Eddie Murphy mimic people's voices. Red Fox, Richard Pryor has called people out their names. People used to before talk about people's deficiencies when they used to walk. So right now, everybody has gotten real sensitive. So the thing is, I think this is bigger than just Will. I mean, bigger than just G.I. Jane. Because if you look at G.I. Jane was a positive woman. and she overcame a lot of obstacles in a service. So if anything, Jada could have wore her crown and been like, yo, that's a compliment, right? I personally feel Will, he could have took the high road and said, yo, listen, take my wife's name out your mouth, and I want to talk to you after the show. He could have yelled that from the audience. But to get up there and slap that man, and when he was literally laughing with him when he said it, it was a sucker move. So, I mean, it's bigger than that, because I think she put a battery in his back and charged him up, and he went up there and slapped it, because it wasn't like as soon as he said it, he jumped up and went to slap him. It was Will reacted off Jada's reaction. And if Jada would have laughed, if Jada would have laughed and kiki, ha, 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 Will would have sat there in the seat and played the shit off. She obviously was like, yo, she must have said something like, you gonna let the dude punk me or talk about me? And then Will went up there. I'm just saying, I'm speculating. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. She didn't do that. I saw the reaction. Don't forget, Jada also laughed at it.
Hold on.
Jada also laughed.
Hold on. We didn't see after she smirked it out and Will was laughing. We don't know what she said to Will, because they went back to Chris. And Chris was like, yo, it was a light joke. Next thing you know, Chris is about to go into another monologue, and here comes Will. And then that's when Chris is going, oh, here come Richard. So I say all that to say that, listen, if she wouldn't have said anything, I don't think Will would have did anything. So I hear a lot of people talking about Will's mad, he's protecting his wife. Will protecting her from a joke? Really? A joke? Let me tell you something.
But it's a joke when it's like medical condition. That's not funny.
Yeah, but Vanetta, you acting, everybody's, when y'all talking about this medical condition, y'all acting like, yo, like, listen, in movies, people are wearing wigs, weaves, and all kind of shit. I get all that. But people acting like this woman, there are people out here with more medical conditions. God forbid if she was dying from cancer or some other thing. Now, I'm not trying to minimize her condition in her mind. It could be astronomical. It could be mental. But what I'm trying to say is it's a little condition that some people walk with limp. Some people got back problems. Some people bones every time you have certain issues. Everybody here got some kind of condition. If I go someplace and somebody say, "Oh, Bill, you're looking like you're getting a little fat or something like that," now all of a sudden I got to be mad and want to fight somebody.
Then they gonna have to see me.
You know what I'm saying?
But let's understand, this is a history with Chris and Will. This didn't happen yesterday. This has been a history with Chris saying something slick about Jada in reference to Will. So this is not the first time Chris have said anything. Hold on one second.
Let's play this little clip from
laugh.
Jada.
Now, y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia, and just all of a sudden one day, look at this line right here. Look at that. Look at that. And so it just showed up like that. Now this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it. So I'm not asking any questions, but Mama's going to put some rhinestones in there. Mama's going to make me a little crown. That's what Mama's going to do.
That's what Mama is going to do.
Okay, now let's go. I just want to read some of the comments from YouTube. You want to read some of the comments from YouTube real quick, babe? Hold on. Demo, I see you, Demo. What's going on? Let's get out of here, and then we're going to show the video. Demo, shout out my man. Go ahead, man.
He said Denzel should also have gotten the Oscar for Hurricane, but he was snubbed. So Training Day was the consolation prize.
Exactly.
That you know what I say about that? That's why I said, because he should have won the Malcolm X. The reason why they gave it to him for Training, because they know they effed up the year previously.
The same thing with Halle Berry too. Same thing with Halle Berry. So they threw us a bone.
Right.
Suzanne.
So hey, Suzanne. She said, I think Chris Rock would have fun. Well, would make fun of anybody's wife. I agree with that.
Yeah.
He's that type of comedian, and it's definitely good to see you too. And I'm a very sensitive as well since I suffer from alopecia myself.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know that, Suzanne, and by all means, you are welcome to hop on if you want, or keep writing us, educate us about it a little bit more. Eddie Vieira, hello, brother. He said, comedians tell jokes about everyone. You have to laugh with them. Definitely not put your hands on anyone. So
yeah, so we're gonna go to the video and actually show what happened that night, the whole entirety. And everybody, we see. I got you. I'm gonna try to read some of your comments. Everybody, thank you for chiming in. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster, with my co-host Malika Foster in the building.
Come on, sorry. So we have to sit through the ad for a second.
Yeah, so Real Talk is sponsored by Soft Illusion Art Gallery. It's sponsored by Ingram Taxes. It's sponsored by the Daily Art Magazine. It's sponsored by Melba Wilson. It's sponsored by. Okay, here we go.
Oh wow! Will Smith.
The feed goes silent, and so does the audience after Will Smith takes a swing at Chris Rock on stage at the Oscars.
I'm not gonna lie, I loved it.
Chris made a crack about Will's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and her shaved head.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
See what I'm saying?
that was a nice one. Okay.
While Will appears to laugh at first, things immediately turn sour as he takes to the stage, slapping Chris straight across the face.
Uh-oh, Richard! Oh, wow! Wow! Will Smith did.
The sound on the broadcast suddenly cut out in the moments following the altercation, but international markets saw the feed in full. Will shouting at the top of his lungs, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth." Clearly shaken and unsure how to proceed, Chris responds the best way he knows how with another joke.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
So what happened next? E.T. has learned that Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry pulled Will aside for a private chat during the commercial break that followed. Denzel was up against his pal for the Best Actor trophy at the show.
I mean, you know, it's a lot of emotions. This is a long time, well, I think a long time coming for him. And it's a lot of emotion. It's probably all welling up in him right now, so it better be him.
The trio hugged, and it appeared things had calmed down. A source tells E.T., quote, "The theater was silent after Will got up and hit Chris. No one could tell if it was staged or a joke at first. It was incredibly awkward for the whole audience. Will's friends and team have been trying to calm him down."
Oh, wow!
As for why the joke may have hit a nerve for the couple, Jada was diagnosed with alopecia in 2018, a hair loss condition which she has spoken about publicly many times.
And y'all know that she lived with alopecia, and just all of a sudden one day, look at this line right here. Look at that. Look at that. And so it just showed up like that. Now this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it so y'all not asking any questions.
And earlier in the night, co-host Regina Hall made a jab at Jada, which could have also contributed to Will storming the stage.
Will Smith, you're married, but you know what? You're on the list and looks like Jada approved you, so you get on up here. Get on up here.
It's also worth noting, Chris made digs about Jada when he hosted the show back in 2016, too. So there's history here. Will got a chance to address the incident when he won the Best Actor honor, his first ever Academy Award.
You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile, you got to pretend like that's okay. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things.
All right, let me just read some of the comments out here. Uncle's watching in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's chiming in. This is Bill Foster with my co-host Malika Foster, and this is Real Talk Chronicles. We just trying to get it in. there's so much out here. You guys are just giving us all love. Anthony Bolin said Will wouldn't have smacked ODB. Rest in peace, ODB. Chris Lovers watching. Lena said if a white man had said it, he would have got slapped. Doris said if someone made Malika respond the way Jada did, Bill would go all in. But we got a story about that. So, like I said, women can put the battery in their husband, their boyfriend's backs. And the thing is, sometimes both have to understand when is it necessary to do something. Malika has a story, or we can share it. There was a time when the guy was trying to be disrespectful, trying to talk to Malika, and he kept just trying to supersede and go past me. And I
I just want to say we had only been dating for just a couple weeks at that time, but here comes, as Denzel says, the devil, right? The devil comes and tries to sneak on in. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm revved up and I'm about to go check this cat, and I step to him. So Malika's like, "Yo, chill." So I'm like, "Chill? What are you talking about? We were in a Red Rooster." She says, "Chill." She said, "This is not the place to do that." So I'm like, "Yeah, but this cat is being disrespectful." She says, "Yeah, I'm not telling you not to check him, but I'm telling you this is a place that we frequent, and why do it now?" I had to take a step back and think about that, right? Now, could I have just went out there and just wild out on dude? But then who looks like the bad guy, right? I look like the bad guy. I look like I can't control my emotions. And for what, right? For what? He didn't touch her. He was being a little disrespectful to me, but I was reacting to how he was trying to holler at her. So I stepped in on that. Sometimes, yeah, but listen, he didn't touch her. So if I felt that disrespectful, should I go up and just slap him? You know what I'm trying to say? Does that make it right? Now I know it's a kind of twist to that story because he wasn't making fun of Malika, but the thing is, we have to understand that women can control men's emotions.
That's true, Bill.
That's
a good example for something.
Yes,
that's a very good example.
Yeah, and go ahead, please go.
Exactly, and I think you just made my point with that example right there. Look at your own immediate reaction without Malika even interceding, because if Malika had not interceded, it could have been a totally different scenario. But the key thing was, imagine your own emotion and reaction to somebody doing that. At that point, you are totally forgotten you are in, Red Rooster, and you were focused more on what the guy did.
Right.
Thank God Malika interceded and said, "No, don't do that here."
Yes, but this is the point. She was there to de-escalate, not escalate. Jada escalated, and this is my point.
I will not blame Jada.
I can't on that point. I can't agree because we don't know what Jada was doing when the camera was off of her and Will. You can clearly see at first she kind of smiled because he said he loved. She smiled, but then he went on with the G.I. Jane thing. And for me, I think Will's laugh was fake. But then you can see Jada's countenance change immediately. He got to go home with that woman. He got to go home and lay in the bed with the woman who was just totally embarrassed and humiliated on the Oscars.
We'll read some comments, but I just want to say, and you said his laugh was fake. It could have been fake. I mean, I'm guilty. A lot of us are guilty of just laughing through some shit just to get past it for the better good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he was laughing, fake or real. He laughed through it. Millions of people are watching him. Yeah, it was insulting. It was clear that she didn't like it, but I keep going back to it's a time and place for everything, and there's a way to handle things.
I totally agree with that.
I don't know if I won't say I agree or disagree. I understand, because if you've had a history with someone, you've been telling them, listen, look, you need to stop it.
But we don't know that. We don't know that though. You're speculating.
You can go back into the 90s and trace Chris and Will's interactions.
But I'm not saying that they haven't had interaction. What I'm trying to say, you don't know Will told Chris stop. That's what I'm trying to say. Because this might have been the first
that
time.
Will has said publicly that, I can't remember the article that I was reading because I was on the computer all day. I can't remember the article I was reading where he has specifically in so many words said like chill, stop, enough. You keep poking that bear, and at the unfortunate time, that bear is going to come out. Now, I ain't going to say I agree or disagree. I understand. Now, is it a time, place for everything? Yeah, but who are we to say that he should have did this, he should have did that? We don't know, because I ain't gonna lie. If someone keep poking at me and I've been in a situation when someone had kept poking because they see me as so kind, she's so sweet, she's so cool, she don't do this and that, the other. And I've been in a situation where I had enough and I snapped on somebody. Now, do I regret it? No, because they deserve it. Because you kept poking me, and kept poking me, and kept poking me. And how many times you think I'm gonna let you do that? I got kicked out of university camp.
Obama told us all that when they go low, we go high. And
yeah, but how many times
what everybody is talking about today? They're not talking about the fact that he won the Oscar. They're talking about the fact that he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock on national TV.
That's true. I understand it. But if you listen to his speech, he's talking about not just last night, he's talking about how he's had to laugh off, ignore so much stuff because of there's only so much a person can take.
Vanetta,
yes,
let me interject for a second.
He's in the public eye, but get to a point, everybody gets tired. I mean, look at Simone Biles. Everybody went for Simone Biles because she backed out of the Olympics because mentally she wasn't ready to do what she had to do. It's funny that there's excuses made for white people, but not for black people. And then you want to mess with this man, takes his Oscar away. You want to bring up the situation of August. The situation with August, that had nothing to do with last night.
Vanetta, don't get me wrong. And Olu, please don't think I'm saying Will shouldn't have done anything. I'm not saying that at all, because I'm all for a man standing by his woman and, protecting her and, what have you.
Right.
I'm saying, Bill said a great thing last night. He was like, he really could have stayed in the seat and said, I'll see you after the show.
He could have, but it was
I hope
all this Malika, the next day.
Malika and Bill, I hope you guys are not getting me totally wrong. Like I said at the beginning, I have a mixed feeling about it because I agree Will shouldn't have done that on TV. I agree with you.
Right.
He shouldn't have done that. So don't think that I support him for doing it on TV. All I'm saying is I can understand his emotions.
Yes.
And I'm not going to judge him for doing it. But should he have done that on TV? No. I agree with you on that point.
So we're gonna read some comments, and then we're trying to get somebody to come in. Hold on, Vanetta. So you think he should have did that on TV, national TV?
Who, me?
Yes.
I wish he hadn't, but he did.
Okay, so let me ask you another question now. And I'm just using this person as because he makes a lot of jokes. He goes at anybody that he's friends with. If 50 Cent was making those same jokes, do you think Will would have got up there and slapped him?
If 50 Cent and Will had issues previously, I'm up to believe he would have. I think Will ain't no punk.
I think you
Will ain't no punk. Will ain't no punk. You can say what you want about him.
But I think y'all giving Will a lot of credit. You think love conquer all? Love don't conquer all.
I don't think love conquers all.
No, but I'm saying not when it comes to that knuckle game, because what I'm trying to say is that I feel, this is my personal feeling. I feel he knew that he felt like he got to win, whipping Chris's ass. I gotta give you another example. When Malika and I first started dating, there was a guy that badmouthed me to Malika, right? Malika told me, she said, please do not, if I tell you who it was, can you promise me that, you don't go and say nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because she wanted to keep the peace. I said, I promise you. That's why we're here together, because the transparency was so real in the beginning. Come to find out, when she told me who it was, the dude was no match for me. It would have, people, if I would have hit that man, the first thing people would have said is, You don't get no props for hitting that man. He's not in your league. You understand what I'm trying to say? When people look at certain situations, the first thing they say, "Yo, that'd be a good fight," or "I would like to see that fight." You know what I'm trying to say? You don't see David beating Goliath. That's like say Kevin Hart says something disrespectful, and then Dwayne Rock Johnson slapped the shit out of him. The first thing people would be like, "Yo, why did he hit him like that? He didn't deserve that." You know what I'm trying to say? No matter what he said, I'm not saying people are exempt from getting the shit slapped out of them. I'm a slapper. You understand what I'm trying to say?
But let me ask you a question. Do you think Chris Rock would have said that to Denzel Washington's wife?
I don't know, because but
right. We can do what if all day long.
But what I'm trying to say is that, you see, he went to Denzel first. He was like, Othello, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you gotta understand, Chris knows Jada, right? I don't know if he knows Denzel's wife. And the thing is, you got to understand, staying in people's lanes. So the thing is, that's like me going to a show and Malika's friend is a musician, right? And then all of a sudden we're sitting there, and then he says, "I see you, Malika. How you doing?" Whatever, right? Now I'm supposed to catch feelings because he knows Malika and or something like that. So we got to understand the dynamics of how things go along.
Bill, that's a good point you're making, because it goes the other way too.
Yes.
He didn't make that type of joke about Samuel Jackson sitting there with his wife. He didn't make that type of joke.
He knew what he was doing.
Right. He didn't make that type of joke.
He knew what he was doing. He knew he was poking the bear.
Denzel,
and he didn't.
Okay. The point is, he was also trying to take an advantage of who he felt
he could try. He tried Will, and it ended up happening.
In fact, he was surprised too that Will stood up and did that, because he didn't think Will would do it.
Right.
No, because I don't think Chris is a violent man. I really don't.
No, I'm not saying he's violent. He provoked Will because
I don't think he was a violent man.
Lou, the reason why I said that I don't think he's a violent man is because I'm saying, if somebody, and see, it's hard to put Chris Rock in that thing, because Chris Rock, if you've ever met him, I met him one time. If you ever met him, he is a very introverted, passive person. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you say hi to him, he's almost like fragile, like he doesn't want to be touched and talked to. You have to be in his circle to have that kind of communication. The way he acts and eyes open is the same way he is. Now, the bottom line is, yes, he's a comedian. I get it. That's like telling a singer not to sing to your woman. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out that there's a certain history. I don't know what it is. You know, everybody says you don't want to speculate on if that he would have did that to somebody else. But that is the whole issue. Let me tell you something. If you that mad, you ain't gonna be crying. And then you're gonna try to justify your tears and try to say you went into Richard Williams. Now you protect him and you mad at people. Listen, yo, nobody told you to be an actor. Nobody told you to put you and Jada's business out in the street, right? The entanglements. Nobody told Jada came out and did that. No, Chris Rock didn't do that. So yeah,
true. I agree with you on that, because see, this is my point with that. You can't compare that incident of August to the incident last day. Those are two separate situations.
I'm not saying I'm comparing. What I'm trying to say is that when you put your business out in the street, you can't get mad when people talk about it.
Exactly. Now, I'm gonna say two things. So the whole August situation had nothing to do with last night. Secondly, when people are saying, well, why he chin check August? August wasn't a problem. Jada was a problem. Now, granted, they said they both were separated. Will was doing his thing. She was doing her thing. Now, her thing was, regardless of what they were doing in their private lives, they said they were swingers, all that. Listen, I don't care what you do in your private life. If you know they did it, then what business of yours even telling it? Mind your business, and then you won't have to worry about everybody else's business, because your business is so jacked up. But what happened was, she made a bad choice. And she's that little young boy. He caught feelings, and he put all their business out there. So Will had no choice now but to put his wife in front of you. Like, we're going to have this red table now, since you know, really embarrass us all. Now we're going to have this discussion. And with all the whole thing, he was pissed. I happened to watch it, and I was like, "Yo, he like he ready to slap the chase out of
Who you talking about on when Will was talking to Jada?
Jada at the red table when
At the red table.
came out.
But listen,
He was heated.
I don't know how he sat through that.
Yeah, listen,
He was his eyes was red, they was watery. He was like, now since you didn't embarrass us, now we gotta talk about our life. Because now you done messed up, you made a bad choice and messed with that little boy, and now he got caught with that old lady coochie, and now he in his feelings.
Yeah, but
now
if Chris had made a joke
and
about
then hold on. I'm gonna speak to you about an incident that happened some years ago, back in the 90s. I remember when Wendy Williams was on 97.1.
Okay, really quick. We have to read some of these comments. So just
okay. All right. And I remember so it'll be very quick. I remember when Wendy Williams was on 97.1, and it wasn't known that Method Man's wife had an issue with cancer. Wendy, now that's a private situation. Wendy Williams was on the radio, made that announcement. Method Man called up to the radio and got in her tail. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna see you on the streets. There comes a point in time you have to understand there are certain things that's not the public's business. Now Jada put it out there, but that's not that's no comedian's right and place to make a joke of it. Because if it was on you, how would you take it? Because you might take it with a laughing smile, doesn't mean the next person would. Now, I mean, so if Will would have smacked him in the street, let's say I
don't have no problems with that. I don't have no problems with that. I wouldn't have no problems if Will smacked him behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of it is, you went up there and smacked him in front of 20 million people when damn near sometimes people don't even want black people in a place. So now, watch how this becomes a trickle down effect. Now you're gonna have people at Source Awards, BET Awards now get mad at something. They're gonna go on the stage and start slapping anybody just because you think you can.
No, it's not right. It's not right.
I wish he would have done it.
I agree with you on that. It's not right that he did it on public TV. That's not my point. It's not right that he did it. And he realized it too because he apologized for it when he got the Oscar.
But this is what to understand. How come people aren't mad at Chris, but you mad at Will?
Because
there's a cause and effect.
Because Will put his hands on Chris. Chris didn't put his hands on Will.
Yeah, but that doesn't justify Chris doing it.
I'm not saying
right. So there's a certain responsibility on both sides.
But see, the thing is, we're not saying. So let me ask you a question, Vanetta. You get into a disagreement with somebody and they curse at you. You curse back, right?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't.
Okay. Why don't you?
Because sometimes I have to read the room. I have to read the person and what they're beating with me about. And sometimes no response is the best reaction. Now, have I gotten an argument with somebody?
Wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna break that down. What you said. You said you had to read the room, right?
Right.
Did you think Will read the room?
No.
I
agree with you.
No, he didn't care at that point. He didn't care. Because if he did, he cared about how his wife was looking at him. That's what he cared about. Let me tell you something. He don't give a darn about them Oscars. He don't give a darn about what public opinion is saying about him right now. He cares about the woman. He got to spend the rest of his life where he got to roll over in the bed and look at her face and for her to say, you didn't protect me. You didn't protect me. You allowed me to sit there.
Hold on.
Thank you, Colin. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, hold on. We got comments. Everybody, thank you all for chiming in. This is right. Oh my God, this is.
And I just got an alert from CNN that Will Smith just issued a public apology.
To who, Chris?
Okay.
Oh,
that's breaking.
It's too late now.
It's breaking news.
Look, Bill, give him a break. He apologized.
No, listen.
He apologized.
But Chris apologized as well because he shouldn't have said that.
Hold on, Vanetta. Let me just tell you, and we're gonna read some of these comments. Let me tell you something. When I say I'm from the neighborhood, I'm not even going to say the streets. I know street etiquette, right? First and foremost, you don't slap another man, right? The fact that if you slap another man, that is probably the most disrespect. That's like in a Western where a person says, I call you a liar. And you know what I'm saying? Yo, for him to slap another man on national TV, first two black men that are making millions of dollars. And then this is the first time when you have a black man and a black woman producing this shit. And it was so multicultural and beautiful. We were watching the Oscars and actually enjoying it because any other time it'd be so boring. You'd be like,
I ain't even watch. I happened to see that part.
No, but I'm just saying. But the thing is now, all of a sudden, you got people with real money in the audience, and all of a sudden you catching those kind of feelings. You know what I'm saying? That's like the white, like when Amy Schumer made the actor's wife stand up. Imagine if all of a sudden if she caught feelings and get mad and slap the shit out of Amy Schumer. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, she was right too for standing up. Her feet hurt." Like, when does it stop? You know what I'm saying? When does it stop? Like, let me read some comments. Hold on, Vanessa. We got comments.
Okay, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like Eunice Collins. So I'm reading back, everybody. I can't read forward. I'm gonna try to. What's up, Lisa? I'm a survivor. Eunice Collins. She says it's a little too late. Maria said, "Thank you, Bill. A hand slap is just degrading." Lena, Bill, you 100. Lisa Carbo in the building. Bam, damn right, Bill. No slapping allowed. Mo Weathers. This wasn't about Jada Will. This wasn't about Jada. Will is in his feelings. Facts, Bill. Tyrone, I understand both sides. I get you, Typo. Doug Davis, exactly. Lisa. Gina said, "Too late. Save your apology. The hatchet was coming to Will." Exactly. Will better worry about his career now. You know what I'm saying? Because let me say, Chris Rock ain't gonna control that money. It's those white people in those Oscars. You know what I'm saying? He may never get another one. And Jada, what's she gonna be doing? She ain't gonna be doing nothing. What she gonna talk about? Baby, I love you. He don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Bill, he just issued an apology. I sent it. Douglas David Wilson just issued it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We played the Douglas when we were young, and there was some hurtful things said, but there was no one putting hands on each other. Exactly. Angel Ray said, "I think it was built up of what has been going on over the years with Will and Jada, and Will had his breaking point." Well, y'all making Will and Jada the victim, yo. I get it. Just because
the victim.
I don't think there's so much a victim. I think it's just the beef with Will and Chris has been built up over time.
You focus only on the slap.
It was a snapping point. I mean, we all have snapped and did stuff we should have never done. And then you think like, oh, dang. Have I done it? Yes. Have I gotten somebody's tail because of a situation? I've been taking something for so long and snapped.
All right, hold on. Let me read these comments before we lose all our RT people. Dorian Hall, Kellen, she said, "Had there been a black man slapping a white CIA, would have came out of the floor and the ceiling. Because it was a black on black assault, white American thought it was okay." Absolutely. Junior says, "Stop saying protect her. That had nothing to do with protecting her. She did not protect Will." Oh my God. Okay. Like, exactly. Kick it, y'all. Lisa said, "Oh my God, he is a comedian. That's what he does. Every comedian was roasting someone hard. It's always been that way." Reggie Bullock said, "That was a sucker slap." Absolutely. What's up, cuz? Mark in the building. Lou's in the building. Annette said, "If you're sensitive, don't go to a comedy show." Quick Rock doesn't own an apology, although nice he did. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Brazy? Miss Butler, Angel Racing, comedians are continuously being put on mute. Exactly. I'm trying to get my man in the building. Everybody, I'm trying to get my man Brooklyn Mike to come in. He's a comedian. He's going to tour with Chris Rock right now.
Oh, Brooklyn Mike.
Take on what it is. I'm gonna have to see if I can call him.
The comments are coming in so fast, and
Yeah.
when they go up, we can't scroll back. So
yeah, I apologize for everybody that are chiming in. Your comments are very important to us. And
one thing I saw, Sister Gina, she said that Jada is toxic. Toxic.
Toxic is kind of a strong word.
Why? You think she's positive?
I don't know her well enough to know to make a decision. We're going based on what we see through media. It's not what we know. We don't know these people personally. I don't have a decision or perspective on who she is as a person because I know her as a public figure. I don't know her personally, so I can't make an assumption or a judgment that she's toxic. We all have made some bad decisions, and to some other people, they may think we're toxic because based on what they heard, not what they know.
Let me read this. Brother Clay said it's a building point, and last night was a breaking point. I think somebody just said he wasn't going to do that to Tupac. Kevin Brenzetti is in the house. Hey, Kev. Maria said, "I don't believe that crap. He stepped out because she stepped out because she wanted August. That's the mother of his children. He ain't going to make her look bad." Yeah, again, they put their lives in the media. What did they expect? I mean, I think we're all pretty much saying similar.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that, at the end of the day, they're human like the rest of us.
Yeah,
But
They're human like the rest of us, and we all missed the mark. He missed the mark on this one.
It comes with the territory. When you're in the limelight and you're getting $20 million, then it's gonna get put in the street. People want to know. You don't want to do it in the street. So don't act. Get you a regular job. Become a cop. You know what I'm saying? Become a masseuse. You know what I'm saying? Become a lawyer. Become something else. I'm just saying, become something else, because you can't get all that money and be that popular. You can't go anywhere in this world and then talk about, I want my business private. And then you out here having menage a trois and all kind of shit. I'm assuming, I don't know what they having, because the bottom line is, listen.
Are we just talking about last night, or are we talking about something else?
Yeah, because they have menage
because
you. Hold on 1 second.
Look.
So Lamont says, so where do we go from here? Do comedians need security for every performance? Will this become a trend because Will Smith faced no consequences? And then Lincoln said, "Oh, I missed it. It went by too fast."
I don't think. I think
because they put their life out there makes them open game. They open that door. Denzel keeps his family private.
And I got
exactly.
So hold on, Vanetta. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Colin said, would he have slapped one of the female comedians had they said the same thing?
I think people know what.
No. Answer the question. Don't think right now. But you think he would have slapped one of them female comedians and Amy Schumer?
I don't think someone asked me, do you think that Dave Chappelle would have said something? I said Dave Chappelle wouldn't have been that tasteless.
What? Dave Chappelle? Oh my God!
He wouldn't have been that tasteless because you know
about gays and everybody.
I don't think he'll be that. I don't think he would have been that tasteless.
I don't even think it was tasteless.
We got some people disagreeing with you in the house. But
okay, I listen. I mean, I want to agree with me. I'm looking for agreement.
Hold on. Thank you, Cheryl. Will's violence said violence and all. Let's see. This is the shit. Violence and you ready? Because he'll make me mad.
Maria Johnson said Saturday Night Live is going to have a ball. I totally agree with that. And Chris actually put out a statement too. Do you have Chris' statement? Or you want to hear Will's first?
Well, yeah, she sent me Will. Cheryl sent
Gina said you need another point of view on your panel. Okay, Gina, come on in. Oh, it ain't my show. I'm sorry.
Gina, you can come on in.
I want to read Chris' statement also.
Okay, you want to read Chris first?
Yeah, let's read Chris' statement first. Look, the print is tiny, so y'all have to bear with me now. So Chris said, as a comedian, it can be difficult to understand which lines are to be crossed and which ones aren't. Last night, I crossed the line that I shouldn't have and paid the enormous price of my reputation as a renowned comedian. Comedy is never about poking fun at or making light of people with major ordeals happening in their lives. Comedy is about using real life circumstances to create laughter and bring light to an otherwise dark world. With that said, I sincerely apologize to my friends, Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith, and the rest of the Smith family for the disrespect and disregard I displayed, which was unfortunately broadcast for the world to see. I hope that with time, forgiveness can come of this situation and we can all be better, more considerate people in the end. Chris Rock.
You know, next thing comedians are only gonna be talking about birds and grass. You know, you can't say nothing anymore, man.
No, Bill.
Look at
what Chris just said. That is a very sensitive thing that he didn't realize. That's the
right.
point.
He didn't know that was so sensitive.
Chris is a gentleman. Listen, because I sure you wouldn't have slapped me. I don't know if I'd have been able to take that slap on national TV, because I don't care about people talking about, yo, Bill, you're a gentleman.
He took the high road.
He took the high road. Listen, I'm not Michelle Obama. I want to get right down in the gutter with you and let's get it on. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Fuck that. You slapped
I ain't laughing and we going on with the show. You better turn them cameras black.
So listen, let's read.
All right, so let's read what Will has to say. So Will said, violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be.
So let me slap you on TV.
Hold on. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, and all the attendees and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. Wait, he said, I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will.
Well, let me slap you so we can both be a work in progress.
All right.
No, that's not how it goes. You're not going to be a work in progress by yourself.
Give him a break. The man is apologizing.
Thank you, Vanetta. Excuse me. Thank you for that.
Let's read what Demo said. He asked Vanetta a question and shit.
What? Who asked me a question?
Demo.
Mm-hmm. He said if he thought the comment was inappropriate, he wouldn't have laughed. Jada shot him a look, and he felt that he had to do something.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, Demo, the winner of the fight always gets arrested. Exactly. Susan, I'm crazy. She said, hold on, Vanetta, hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Demo also said he thought the comment was. Oh, it just jumped. Inappropriate. He wouldn't have laughed. Jada shot him, like you said. Let me read some comments.
And then Suzanne said Jada was not in danger. She did not need protection. It's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't in danger. I mean, she felt embarrassed and humiliated.
Hold on. Let me read some comments. Angel Ray said, "Let Chris go on red table talk, and they hash it out." yo, Angel Ray, I'm gonna bring him on here. Lisa, you know I'm a hot mess. She said, my man James Bullock said, it was not tasteless. He was not joking on her medical condition. It was all about the hairstyle. Chris should have punched Will in the back of his head when he walked up. You're right. I would have kicked him off that stage. You know, Lisa Clark said, Chris is a true gentleman after being slapped. You're right. My man Albie said, where it was said to who were a few other things. Will should not have slapped him, but Chris should not have said it. And that's it. You're right. You know what I'm saying? I do agree. It was, like he said, it was in poor taste. Because, listen, once somebody says something, we all react. I don't know if Will was had some little joy juice in the system. I don't know anything. Because, liquor give you some
power.
Give you courage.
Balls. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Until you get hit and knock that shit out of your system. You know what I'm saying?
You be drunk and on the ground.
You're like, oh, okay, I'm sober. It's hot in here.
I think I need another drink.
Let me tell you, I was watching it live, right? And I really felt bad for Chris, too. He did something wrong, but I felt bad for him because you could see it on his face that he was totally embarrassed that he got smacked.
Like he was shocked.
He was shocked.
But he thought quick on his feet. Like, okay.
That's true. You have to give it to
him. He was quick on his feet. So this will go down in history.
Because he got slapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, shit, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Bill, you just worried about the slap, man.
No, listen. You know what somebody told me a long time in grammar school? You see, I needed therapy back then. I got into a fight in the classroom, right? So they take me down to the basketball coach. So they said, so listen, what happened? So I tell him the story, whatever. So he says, who threw the first punch? I did. So he said, you started the fight. I said, no, I didn't. He said, yes, you did. I said, what do you mean? I said, he said he did this, he said that. He said, but you swung. I said, yeah, because he shouldn't have said what he said. He said, yeah, but you took it, you escalated it. I mean, I remember that for a long time. I always remember that. It's still a lot of times it didn't change shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, when you act up is when you get it. But the thing is, as we mature, and this is what I'm trying to say, this is money. I'm not going to sit around at a corporate event or a business thing and then slap somebody because he said something. Will I catch him in the bathroom? Absolutely. because once you touch somebody, it shows a lack of control.
Mm-hmm.
You mean once you touch somebody in public?
Mm-hmm.
Because you say you take him to the back and hit him. You touching somebody.
Well, it'll be my word.
I think if it would have been in the back, it'd have been a brawl.
Yeah,
I think it'd have been a brawl.
Many other ways it could have been handled.
I want to show y'all another video with Shannon Sharp and the other gentleman. Malika's gonna cue that up. But listen, like Suzanne said, so many young lives are gone because of feeling disrespected. Absolutely. Everybody getting sensitive all of a sudden. And then, you don't want to see her no more. I'm just playing.
And this is the thing. I don't want comedians to think you don't feel caged. I mean, look at the backlash Dave Chappelle got about the LGBTQ community. You know, when someone brought that to my attention when I had something to say. And I was like, well, honestly, what Dave Chappelle said was truth. I mean, get offended if you want, but what he said was true. Now, looking back at the Jada and Will and Chris situation, you know, being heckled about a medical condition you're very sensitive about, even though you put it out there, it's just not cool. It's not cool. There's a good way, a better way, and a bad way to handle a situation. I think both parties or both ends know that now. Now, we can't just sit here and just condemn just Will when Chris played.
Hold on, Fernanda. Everybody, we're going to play this. All right. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster, with my co-host, Malika Foster, and we about to bring this in. So here, we're going to play this for everybody. Go ahead.
Portrayal of Venus and Serena Williams' father in King Richard last night, Will Smith shocked the Oscar audience by slapping Chris Rock. Happened on stage after the comedian made a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett. During his acceptance speech, a teary-eyed Smith apologized to the Academy, but not to Rock himself. After the show, LAPD said Rock would not be pressing charges. What is going on? Shannon, how surprised were you by all of this drama?
Hell, I was surprised and shocked as everybody because I'd never seen anything like this. This is the epitome. This is the height of what they do. This is the Oscars. This is not, we've seen at some of the award shows, and we don't need to name it, where people get to fighting, people get to shooting. But this is, you know, people of elegance, and they, you know, just, they're high and mighty, and they're dressed in their best, their Sunday best. And they're, you know, this is where they go to be lauded for their performances.
Yeah.
And to have Will Smith behave in this manner. He's talking about, you know, he's protected his wife. Well, where was her protection of a man when she was at the red table talking about what she was doing with this entanglement? Where was her protection of her husband? Chris Rock is a comedian. What comedians do, they can do this better than anybody else. They can take a real life situation and make it funny. That's what comedians are. Comedians take situations, and that's why I say we up here all the time, Skip. I say there's truth in jokes. Ugh. That's what they do.
There's the most truth in jokes.
So now what we're starting is a bold precedent. I'm saying something about somebody. Oh, look at that weave. Or look at the man, bro. What you got on, man? That's terrible. He walks up on stage. What he should have done is what DC Young Fly did last year when somebody came up on the stage and whipped him. Because see, this is going to be there for perpetuity. But also to be there for perpetuity, I'd have come up out that tux. I'd have whipped Will Smith ass.
I know you.
He'd have had to whip me, or I'd have had to whip him. And every time I see him, it's on something.
That's my man.
And Will Smith is carrying on like ain't nothing happened. And then you apologize to the Academy. After the Academy, you need to apologize to that man. Skip, let me tell you, there's three things, especially in our community. You say the N-word, you spit on me, and you slap me. Because if you go back to less than, that's what they did. They didn't punch you, they slapped you.
Got it.
Because that's the ultimate sign of disrespect. When you hear somebody, they don't say I'm gonna punch you, they say I'm gonna slap the you know what out of you. Because that's the ultimate sign of disrespect. Will Smith and his crowning achievement, he finally won an Oscar, and he's had some performances that he could have easily won one. Now, Will Smith won the Oscar in 2022, but what? This overshadows it. He's never going to be able to live this moment down. What should have been his greatest moment, his joy, is marked by this.
Because most people anticipated he was going to win.
Right.
Okay.
And so now you take the moment away from Venus and Serena about their dad, the story about their family, their dad. You stole that moment from them. Why? Because he made a joke. This is the first time I get it. Chris Rock said something back in 2016 when Will Smith said he was going to boycott, and Jada said she wasn't coming also, and Chris Rock said, well, they didn't invite you anyway, so ain't nobody gonna mention it. But yeah, this for him to do that, considering some of the things that she had said at her round table about an entanglement, he ain't slapped that guy. That's the guy you should be mad about.
Yep.
I'd had to have. I'm so disappointed because it's us. For the world to see, I don't know how many people was watching. Say 5, 10, 15, 20 million people was watching.
Not what it used to be, but go ahead.
But it's us. You see, it's us. And all y'all out there talking, oh, that's his man protecting his woman. Really? That's what y'all think this is about? It's embarrassing. Will Smith, I hope he went to bed. I hope he prayed. This was embarrassing to the highest degree.
Okay, I'll take it from a different perspective on this side of the table. I have watched these awards for many, many years. You know how into film and movies I am. So I hang on their every word.
Yeah.
It's lost me a little bit over the last 4 or 5 years. And because the Lakers were on last night, I had to tape it. Usually I would watch it live, but I'm not going to preempt LeBron for this. So the point is, for those who don't know the ceremony, to your point about the high and mighty there, the goal of the stand-up comics who are either to open the show is to puncture said egos.
Right, he was a presenter, so he wasn't even the host.
He wasn't the host, but the goal of some presenters, and definitely the hosts, is to puncture egos of high and mighty, because Hollywood wants to send the message to the country, well, we don't take ourselves that serious.
Right.
Okay, so I'm the biggest Chris Rock fan. He is funny.
He is. Yeah, absolutely.
But he can be scathing funny.
Right.
This was a cheap shot at Will's wife because she does suffer from a hair loss condition that she's often talked about on her show and other mediums. And it was a low blow. It was just a cheap shot.
Right.
And I didn't love it because you could see Jada didn't love it immediately. And Will was still smiling, so it shocked me what he then did.
Right.
Okay, now I'm going to take it one step deeper. I think he knew pretty well that he was going to win this award, playing King Richard, obviously the father of the Williams sisters. And it almost felt like he lost it a little bit because he almost went to the Oscars in character, and he talked about it in his acceptance speech.
So he was
because he said art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams, but love will make you do crazy things. Well, Richard would have done the same thing in certain situations.
Oh, he ain't let nobody talk about the girls.
I don't think Richard would have slapped. He would have slugged. Because that's what I didn't think about the history of this. You make a very deep and powerful point that eluded me, because the neighborhood I grew up in, it was a lower class, sort of middle to lower class. It had a real lower class with a white trashy side on it. Listen, nobody slapped. Nobody slapped.
No.
When you engaged with your fist closed. And you didn't talk about it, you just threw. Right. I was taught very little, but I was taught by my father, you finish it before it starts. Okay, right? Okay.
That's the first thing you skip. Here's the thing, what Chris Rock should have thought about. I say the joke. The person that I say the joke about, her husband, so now I already feel tension. I feel confrontation. Or I'm getting out the first one. Because the moment I feel confrontation, I got to end it.
That's my
I'm
man.
not gonna let you walk up on me like that. We argue, going back and forth. You cross the room, and here you come walking towards me. What I think? You coming to offer me a drink?
I don't know what he thought. It's staying strong. I mean, he didn't flinch. He took the shot right in the mouth.
You're a bigger man than me. I ain't that big a man.
Okay, I got it. Just for the record, Will Smith goes about 6'2". I'm going to guess 200-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. And Chris, I'm going to give him 5'10", maybe 150-ish, because he's always been slender, right? So can we agree that Will Smith's about 50 pounds and maybe 4 inches on him? Okay, does that change the dynamic at all?
No. Sometimes, Skip, sometimes you might have to be willing to take an ass cut just to let people know that you're not no pushover, that you can't walk on. Because once you let somebody do that to you, And people now, he's got to be careful about joking somebody in the community. Skip, I went to a comedy show one time with Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence said something about me, man. I laughed. It was funny. But I get it. He's a comedian. And if he sees somebody in the audience with the way they dress and how they look, people used to make fun of people with disabilities. They don't do that anymore. Skip, but that was a thing. If you had one leg, you had one eye, or whatever the case may be. But for Will to react like this, really? Skip, nobody can convince me other something deeper going on other than somebody saying that your wife has no hair and she's going to be in the next G.I. Jane. There's no way you can convince me that pushed him over the edge. Okay. That was the only thing. Something else is going on deeper because he should have been pushed over the edge last year when she was at the round table talking about an entanglement. Go fight that dude. That's the dude I'm looking for. That was all up in my house doing what I should have been doing.
Yeah. I did like it that in the commercial break, it was reported that both Denzel and Tyler Perry tried to calm him down and talk him off the ledge a little bit to Will Smith. Yeah. And that he said in his acceptance speech that Denzel told him that at your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes forth.
I'm the devil. If I'm Chris Rock, I'm the devil. I couldn't Brioni.
All right.
Yo, he had me dying.
I'm the devil.
Yo, all right. So listen, everybody. We got two people coming in. We got our sister Gina coming in, and we got my man Mike Troy. And Gina, what's going on, Mike?
How you doing?
Mike Troy is a world famous comedian. Mike, I want to ask you two questions on this, brother. First, it's good to see you. Happy New Year. I ain't seen you in 100 years, brother.
In a while.
Yeah, but let me ask you this question. One, I got multiple questions. What do you think about what happened? Is Will Smith being a comedian changed the world right now? And I know you're on tour. You're going on tour with Chris, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, brother. So, what do you think about that tonight?
Yeah, I think there's something else going on with Will Smith other than Chris Rock saying Jada should be in G.I. Jane 2. And if you guys have seen G.I. Jane,
yeah,
Demi Moore looks amazing in that movie. She had a short haircut, the body was tight. She looked amazing. As a man, Will Smith was disrespectful. Absolutely. To slap another man. It was disrespectful. I don't know what was going on. If you watch the whole thing, and trust me, I had like 2,000 people reaching out to me. When you watch it and Chris is up there doing his comedic monologue before he's presenting, because he's not the host, both Will and Jada are laughing for a little bit. Then Jada stops, then Will Smith stops, and then he looks at her, and then he just gets up. There wasn't any back and forth. He didn't go, okay, Chris, that's enough. Shut it down. That's my wife. I'm not playing. He just went up there and slapped his man.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like now you're a comedian. I've seen your show. You funny as shit. I know there's probably been times when somebody wanted to whip your ass. No, but how do you handle the person where they think you've gone too far? And I'm sure maybe as a comedian, you're not perfect. You might have gone sometimes pushed a little button that maybe you say, well, okay, damn, Mike, you shouldn't have did that. But how do you handle that?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't like messing with people. I like for the hecklers. Now, if you heckle me, you're going to want to fight me if you heckle me. You are going to, your mother, everybody's going to want to fight me if you heckle me. Comedy is so subjective. It's like, do you got, like what Will said to Jada? That was the weakest thing. It was a low-hanging fruit bit, but he didn't invite Jada to his manhood. He didn't it was.
That's my point.
He didn't invite her. That was the word. That was like a -1,000 joke. If there was a scale for someone to smack another man, like I think comedy is so. Again, today we live in such a PC world. everybody have their support group, which you can't take our weapon away. You can't take a comedian's weapon away. But like right now, if this was a show, and then I go, hey, look at this person over here with a big head. One side of the room would laugh, and then the other wouldn't, right? Then I go on the other side of the audience and go, I hate animals. That side would laugh, and then the other side wouldn't. So it's like, who the fuck do you try to impress?
Right.
Because now everybody has a support group. If I go, hey, this man right here got big ears, guess what's going to happen next week? It's going to be a whole bunch of big-eared people coming out saying, he's in there. There he go. We hear him. So I don't like...
And motherfuckers going to be wearing hats and covering up their ears.
Right. It's going to be the big-eared people, the big-head people. Like, right now, I'm so afraid. Most of us, when we used to go out, I'm so afraid now with this PC community. When we used to go out to the clubs and the DJ would get on and be like, if you got $100, put your hands up. If you got 200, put your hands up. Everybody scream. I'm so afraid that it's going to be somebody at the party that's unemployed. And they're going to be like, you know what? He's messing with me because I don't have a job. And I'm at an after work party. That's sad. And then I got to go apologize to the unemployed people. So it is wrong. Will Smith was dead wrong. And this is what's making Will. So in the street, so you got two different opinions. In the street, Will would have got his ass beat. So in the streets, people are saying, you defending your wife, Will. Your life is, both of your guys' lives are public. Y'all open with everything. Why didn't you come at August Alsina when he was with your wife? And then he made a rap song disrespecting her.
Yep. Yeah.
He made okay, guess what? If they into open marriages, fine. If you watch that red carpet table, Jada was trying to get around it with the entanglement, and Will stopped her and said, no, it was an affair.
Right.
Right? So fine. If that's what they into, fine. That boy, August, made a diss record about Jada, him and Rick Ross.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And he said some real disrespectful stuff, and there was no comeback also.
So that's why Will's slapping Chris, because he thinking of August. You know what I'm saying?
Stop it, Bill.
Yeah, he's thinking about that.
He's thinking about the person that you want to beat up.
But listen, he also, and this is public information, she also said some months ago he doesn't satisfy her. Jada said that about Will.
Yep.
So it was, and I hate the fact that they did that. The fact that Will Packer produced this. The first time they let a black man produce this.
Everything
and we doing that. Will is so powerful. Will could have felt disrespected and went backstage and handled his situation with Chris.
Exactly. See, Vanetta, you wanted them handled it right there. So I'm gonna bring Gina.
No, I didn't say that.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you. We're gonna open it up after Gina get her say, and she say, everybody. I appreciate you all chiming on. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster, with my co-host, Malika Foster. And this is Real Talk. If you're watching it from YouTube, subscribe to it. If you're watching from Facebook, share it under the person that's watching it. Or we ask the people that's watching it, share it. Shout out to everybody chiming in. You got so many different comments. We want to read them all. I'll try to read them all. So, Gina, come on. Give us your thoughts on what happened. Sis.
Oh, my thoughts are basically like what he said. Just totally. Will was wrong. Jada and Will's affair. Their life is an open book. Chris is a comedian. He was just doing what he does. And Will should not have been that sensitive. Period.
Right.
There was no reason. I just read a quote also from Richard, Venus and Serena's father, saying that he does not condone anyone hitting anyone else unless it's in self-defense.
Right.
He didn't say anything further than that. He doesn't condone it. And to Vanetta's point about Y'all never answered the question. Bill was asking y'all a direct question. You would never answer the question. And I didn't understand why. And I'm like, just answer the question. But your response actually answered the question. So you saying that I understand, basically you saying that, yeah, Will was right.
No, because if I wanted to say he was right, I would have said he was right.
Well, you didn't answer.
If I would have said he was wrong, I would have said he was wrong.
Never answered.
I'm on the fence with that for the simple fact that we don't know the mindset of anybody.
You know,
hold on.
Right?
I have a right to say I understand. What I mean by that, I understand how he may have felt in reference to what Chris had said about his wife and the reaction his wife showed in her face based on what was said about her.
We can all understand that, but that wasn't the question.
He asked me a question, was he right or was he wrong? I said, I understand. That's like somebody spitting on somebody. So someone called you the N-word. Was it right? Was it wrong?
That's simple. It's either yes or no.
Well, I have a question mark.
So
I have a question mark.
Like, y'all gotta be real about it. If you want to come up,
I'm being real. I have a question mark.
Say it.
I understand why
it's
he
never right
the way
for anybody to hit somebody off of someone having some words. It's never right. Never.
To each his own. I mean,
no.
Never say that. I mean, how many white people have got smacked in the mouth
that way? Always not to hit when you were like 3 years old. Don't hit somebody. You just don't go hit somebody.
You always told that. I don't
feel that way.
But once again, this is not the first time Chris has had something slick to say to Jada and Will.
We talking about
but Eric, it gets to a point where enough is enough. It gets to a point where enough is enough. I'm not gonna keep turning cheek and turning cheek and turning cheek and turning. It's okay to disrespect me and my wife. Now, Will even said you can disrespect me, but now you're getting on my wife.
He's soft.
Now I'm not saying he was soft. I ain't saying he was
soft. What you say? He's soft.
He's soft with that 2 T's on the end.
He's soft.
I said Will is soft.
He said Will Smith is soft. You know what
Can I say something?
Yeah, come on, Mike, in the loop. Come on in. Yeah.
I didn't hear what Gina said, and I didn't hear what Bill said. I didn't hear it.
We're saying she's saying Will Smith is soft with 2 T's on the end. Soft.
Can I say something?
Let Mike in the loop come in.
Yeah, because I don't know the protocol. I want to tag somebody to jump in. To the young lady that said she understands. There's a comedian by the name of Corey Holcomb, and he's just
I love
one.
him. I love Corey.
Corey Holcomb is very disrespectful to Will and Jada.
Very.
There's a lot of comedians that's very, especially when they go open with their private life. He is he is way beyond disrespectful. Nothing has ever happened.
But Corey probably would have said something about the alopecia. He would have mentioned it probably in name. For real.
Yeah. Like he gives 0 up.
Right.
So the people that are in the entertainment business, they're just looking at this one moment with Will like, we can bring our receipts of people who go at Jada. So why now? Why?
Because maybe the things they're going at her about isn't something medically speaking. I mean, it took a lot for her to come out and speak about that. Now, granted, most people think that's a big deal, but obviously it's a big deal to her and her family that she was affected by that. Well, I might not think it's a big deal. You may think it's a big deal. So we can't sit here and say, well, that's wrong and he shouldn't have behaved that way. Was a slap.
Lord, her losing her hair is never a reason for her husband to get up and smack anybody.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, when you're sitting there, especially when women have been, especially Black women specifically, we have been dragged through the mud because of our hair. You know, your hair is nappy, your hair is too coarse. Why you wearing French braids? Why you getting cornrows? Why you got locks? Why is your hair up in the updo? For us to be criticized based on our hair and our hair texture and our Afrocentric hairstyles, and then for another Black man to come in on TV and to say something about her medical condition, that ain't cool. I ain't cool. Like I said, I think there's enough blame that passed around to everybody. I think everybody played a role in it.
I don't blame Chris though. I don't blame Chris. 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 I don't blame Chris That's the thing.
I blame Chris.
I do not
blame Chris.
He got up there and joked like any other time he gets up there and joke.
But let me ask you, so you think that someone having cancer, so you think if Chris would have said something about someone having cancer, that should be a joke?
That's why I be telling you, y'all stay on topic. Y'all got to.
No, I'm just saying, it's listen, people think you're from cancer. People think you're from cancer.
Alopecia. Hell, I'm losing my hair on the sides. So what?
But like I said, once again, what you can take, and what somebody else can't take is totally different situations. So you can't compare what doesn't bother you, it shouldn't bother somebody else.
Okay, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna bring Lou in. Lou, so after you've seen these clips of everything that we're talking about, you heard what the lady said, you heard what Mike said. What's your take on it now? Do you still feel the same way you felt from the beginning of the show?
Yes, I still do, because the reason I felt that way is you don't target somebody's medical condition for a joke, period.
But
wait a minute, I'm just giving you my own opinion. All right, I'm just giving you my own opinion. It can be different from yours, but that is how I feel. You can joke about a lot of things, but it's very sensitive to joke about somebody's medical condition, period. That's just how I feel. There are a lot of other things you can joke about. You can joke about the fact that she was having this affair or whatever she was doing with somebody else. That's fine. That's open game.
But see, when you say that, then that's your own, like you just said, that's how you feel. That's your personal issue. And you're right to that. There are people. So then what about people when you go to comedy clubs and you talk about diabetes and you talk about people's religion? When you talk about people's religion, there's people that will go out and go, you are wrong, but you don't get to smack me.
Yeah, but I agree with you that you see, that's the point. You didn't hear everything I said. I agree with you that he shouldn't have done that on TV. But that doesn't excuse the fact that Chris made a joke about something that is very sensitive. We can't only be talking about the slap.
I got something to say.
But let me finish though.
Why do you?
You cannot just talk about the slap, and then not talk about what caused the slap. The slap was bad. The slap was wrong, but so also was the insensitive joke. Because it seems like you are excusing what caused the slap as if it's okay. For me,
Dina, I'm gonna let you come in right now, but I have a question. Lou, you're saying if you have a medical condition, you would take that personal. So like Mike is saying, and like Gina is trying to say, and I'm piggybacking with them on this. So you fall, you break a leg, you come to a comedy show with a cast on because you got tickets already. And the comedian sees you there, and he starts cracking jokes, calling you a clumsy ass, and stuff like that. You gonna get mad and throw your crutch at him? Like,
no. But you see, that's the point, Bill. My point is, it does not mean I will get physical with the person, but that doesn't mean I excuse the insensitive joke. I don't agree that Will should smack him on TV. I've said that all along.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it excuses Chris for doing what he did. You have to look at it from both sides. You can't just look at it from one point of view.
Let me say this as an artist, as a comedian who travels all over the world and been doing this for 30 years. When I come into an audience and I speak about my son and how I need to discipline him, whether I hit him or not, there will be somebody in that audience that will be offended by that, and I never hit my son. So Chris didn't come there to go, let me hurt people's feelings. If we don't talk about stuff that goes on in the world, then what good is it to have comedians?
All right, let me answer your question, Mike.
What up? Comedians don't come out. I don't know nobody's medical situation that's on this panel now. I don't know nobody's medical. But if I come out and go, hey, my uncle, who did have a hip replacement, he had a hip replacement, and guess what? they had a recall on that hip, right? That shit is funny. That there's a recall. This man had a bad hip and got another bad hip. To somebody is like, you're picking on people like that. And no, I'm not. I'm just going for the obvious. I'm not going out there to disrespect anyone. I travel a lot. I had a residency in Amsterdam for 12 years, traveling all over, doing stand-up. You don't know, I don't know what anybody is going through in their life, but if I talk about it, it doesn't mean that it's offensive. So Chris, I believe he hosts the Oscars for 2 or 3 times. He gets paid to make observations in the audience. You do that, it's an event. The people that are a part of the Academy hired him to do that. If you watch the Emmys, what is the British guy name? They hire him every year. Peterson, I think. He destroys the whole, not even the people who host the Emmys. And he's telling the truth. He disrespects Disney, all the networks, and they keep hiring him. So all I'm saying is that knowing Chris, he didn't go, well, hire me so I could attack Jada and Will. It was personal for them. I get that. But on a platform like that, anybody in the front, if you're a big person, if you eat, I hope none of you guys could have never, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Friars Club roast. That is ugly. It is disrespectful. The Friars Club did a show last year on breast cancer. You would have cried the jokes that they had on people who had breast cancer. They raised like millions of dollars. So all I'm saying is, Will being in the entertainment and also wanted to try being a comedian should have known better. He could have went back and be like, hey, I don't know if you know my wife is suffering from that, Chris. And they could have had that talk.
Right.
In the audience, we just never know what somebody is going through. We don't know. We just come up with subject matters and we talk. I'm a comic who hate for people, any comedian, to talk about people who have medical challenges. If someone is handicapped, I don't fuck with nobody that could change their physical or mental state, because that's cheating. That is totally cheating. But to talk about different subject matters, and the sister was saying earlier, like, I believe Black women are going through stuff, but at an event like that, you don't go to the circus and want to smack the clown.
No, real talk. I'm gonna read some comments. Hold on, I'm gonna read some comments right now. Read with Collins. Read with Collins. Look.
Why? After Mike just said that.
Like, real talk,
yeah,
man.
Mike. Now, first of all, Vanessa, the McKnights, Vanessa and James told me to tell you hi. They're chiming in. Our brother Colin said, losing your hair is not a medical condition. It's a situation. It's not deadly. Miss Suzanne said, I do not blame Chris. He's a comedian. She also said, and half the country voted for Trump, even after he made fun of the disabled young man. And then she said, then Will have to slap a lot of comedians because he and Jada are laced with insensitive jokes.
Absolutely.
So we got some.
Yeah. Anna said, Chris Rock don't know her medical history. Women cut their hair all the time for many reasons. People will always be offended over something. Get thicker skin. Clay Trevo said, now comedians will have to sign a disclaimer before they show out. Albie, he said, word hipster. You know, Sharon Klesko said, stop taking everything personal. So the moral of this story is a lot of people is like, yo, knock it off. Sharon Saunders said his first reaction was laughter, not horror. If it was Ben Stiller, Jimmy Kimmel, or Jimmy Fallon that made that joke, he would have kept his ass in that chair and kept on laughing. Then he thanked the Academy and colleagues, but not the person he attacked. We have to be careful normalizing violence, especially in the Black community. Albie said it's about who said it and where it was said. Like, how dare you? Absolutely. Dennis McCallum in the building. Shout out to Rashawn Chin in the building. Lisa said, stop comparing cancer to Alopecia. That's how you pronounce it?
Alopecia.
Alopecia. Yeah, alopecia is not painful or life-threatening. It's more vanity or unfortunately psychological. Stop using cancer as a comparison, please. Jada looking amazing, and she knew it. That's a good point. James McKnight's in the building. Deborah Brown said, everyone keeps skipping the fact that Chris has been hitting hard on this family since 2016. Chris is not as mad as you guys are. Please use the energy and rage about the crimes in our communities. Oh, we always do that. You just, Deborah, we'll see you Wednesday then, because we talk about this tonight. But we gonna, you know what I'm saying? we change up the show tonight. We listen. I stay on that stuff. You know that. So you know, I get you fight the power that way. Real Talk, the greatest show on earth. Thank you, Albie. Toya Brown is in the building. Alfreda says Will has something else going on. Exactly. Gwen Mosley said Will is human and he is a work in progress like all of us. I'm so sorry what happened to Chris. It should have been handled differently. Love your show. Appreciate it. Enough respect. Exactly. Mike Malibu's in the building. Somebody said, Vanetta, she looked beautiful. I wish none of it had taken place. It's unfortunate all the way around. Yet it's not cancer, but to lose your hair is painful. Audrey Wilson is in the building. Shout out to everybody that's chiming out. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Phil Foster, with my co-host, Malika Foster. And we have our special guest today. We have Olu. What's Olu's last name, Malika?
Oh, I can't remember. Is it Appiona?
Appiona. We have Vanetta Harris.
Oh, I said it right.
And we have my man, Brooklyn Mike Troy. And listen, you know, we chopping it up, man. Listen, this is Real Talk.
Stefania says, see, this is why I don't go to comedy clubs.
No, but
I love comedy clubs.
No, let me tell you, I hate those. I hate when comedians pick on people. I hate that. Like, it just shows it's a sign of you don't have nothing to talk about. And I just still think that when I say, since this whole PC community, I open up my stand-up with whatever your issues are, health, gender, relations, whatever it is, at a comedy club, hang it up in co-check. Put it in co-check, and I say, when you leave, it's going to be there with you. It's going to be there.
Mike, let me ask you a question, and then we can open it up. Like I said, shout out to everybody chiming in. You know, Annette Cavallera said, right, Mike Troy. Lisa said, cancer is a disease. Alopecia is a condition with hair alopecia, whatever that shit is called, is a condition with hair follicles. I'll learn this shit by next show. Shit, fuck it.
I'm trying to help him out here.
We know what you meant.
It would have been a commercial break, and LAPD would have been on stage while on break and Will arrested. Absolutely. No more. Alopecia. Let me go. Jada should have held Will back last night. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
She put the battery in his back. So, Mike, I want to ask you a serious question. I know the way things are, the cancer culture is just destroying everything all the way around. How hard is it making it on your profession, bro? Or is it just causing you to be more creative?
It's not hard because I'm being real creative because I'm real observational, but I do point stuff out. I do point out like what's going on. So with the whole, I have strong opinions about the transgender community without disrespecting them and to give light of like gay people. So one of my bits that I do is I say what I don't like about with these support groups. I said, heterosexual people, we are losing our voice. Everybody else get to say what they want to do or get to say how they want to be addressed. So, and this is a true bit. So my cousin Gregory, who is gay, said to me, stop acting like a faggot, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, who do I go and report him on? Because he can't say that. That's a bad word. That is a potty word. You can't say that. You can't say I'm acting like a woman. That is not right. But who do I go to? Or who do any heterosexual man go to if a gay guy go, ooh, you like a lot of women's sex? Where do I go to say he's bashing me?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Nobody
true.
wants to. I can't go nowhere and be like, my cousin Gregory says, I love women bodies. Like, where do I go? There's no place for heterosexual people to go.
Yeah.
So I talk about that, and I'm like, and then I also say gay people have never been that sensitive. They've always been here, but they've never been that sensitive. So what is really going on? What I don't like is that it's younger people that's making the decision for people that have been here before them and how we should be acting.
Wow.
It's not no one in their 40s or older saying it's the younger group of people that's getting together being like, that's wrong. My daughter, this is where so now it's getting foggy on stage because objective truth is being challenged and you can get in trouble. You know what I mean? And that's the part I don't like. My daughter's co-worker, my daughter's a teacher. Her co-worker doesn't address himself with being a he or she, right? You got to call him a they. That's the pronoun you got to use.
Yeah, I ain't got no time for that.
Right, but what I'm saying to you, right? So he's
what is that? A
man,
they?
right?
That's
so guess what? This is the part that bugs me out. He doesn't identify with a he or she. You got to identify with him as a they, and he's a fucking English teacher. He know that's wrong.
Wrong, yeah, wrong, yeah, wrong.
So if he called him it, would he be okay with that?
No, they got to call him they.
Wow.
That's the
I just call you by your damn name. How about that?
Oh, but you can't do that. You just can't. So
you can't say they, Mr. or just they last name.
You can't even do that.
You got to say they Johnson.
Right. You got to say
Johnson.
they.
Like, what the hell is that? But
So,
you know what? In my business, I have at the wellness clinic I work at, we've had to sign some paperwork in reference to addressing people with proper pronouns.
Right.
Because you don't want to offend people because they may be LGBTQFMYZ, whatever it is. What I do, I don't even put a pronoun on your name. If your name is Pat, I'm gonna call you Pat. I'm not gonna say Mr. Pat, Mrs. Pat, Miss Pat, they Pat, we Pat, us Pat. I'm gonna call you Pat.
You can get in trouble in the entertainment field. They are really serious with that. And all I'm saying is that so it makes it difficult. And if you don't know, it just makes it difficult. And you just got to stay away from it. But I'm just saying, and this is just me in my head.
That cracks me up.
So now, like, I dislike Trump so much. But what's gaining him momentum in his party is that they didn't fuck around with Trump, did not fuck around with that transgender shit. He was like, no man should be playing a woman's sport. And that's what it is. Right? So now you just get on stage and then some clubs will go, you got to be mindful of this. Don't say this. Don't talk on this. And I'm just worried about, are we really going to go get to a place where is now a dog is a tiger instead of a fucking dog? And if
Mike, let me ask you, Mike, are you going to make a joke about this situation with Will and Chris?
Well, tomorrow we meet up and I'm going to test the waters to see how he's feeling. So my joke that
I'm be in there like this.
No, I'm gonna feel it out. But there's a lot of things that's funny to this because Chris suffers from nonverbal signs. It's a medical condition. It's a medical condition that he came out and said maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. It's really a medical condition where
so Will hit a disabled person.
Well, some people could say that, or this is what it is. Or guess what?
Okay.
Listen, the fact that he doesn't pick up on nonverbal signs is why Will got a good clean smack on him.
Yeah, because he leaned in. I think he leaned in because
he was like,
Will was ready to whisper something to him.
Right. But any dude, let me tell you something. My spider senses, if I just said something and I know we didn't rehearse you coming up on the fucking stage, I'm like, it's about to go down. So I'm like,
Mike, as soon as I saw you on that stage, that shit would have been like this.
Right. So I'm like, Huh?
That's
Will
why
walk.
we was able to smack him.
Right. Will walked
a black nigga be like, yo, what's up?
Yo, Will walked a half a mile. And I'm like,
half a mile.
That don't seem right. Like, I would have been on point, like, nah. And he got a good, clean smack. And I'm like,
on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Right.
So like he was a pimp. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is, so listen, before I go, I want to say this. So the women that's in the room, right? The women that's in the room, two things would have happened last night. So let's just say everybody's in there, and let's just say if your husband was the one who got the shit slapped out of him, your body part would have dried up so bad. You would have like to see your man, your king, get the shit slapped out of him and no retaliation. Everything would have dried up. Everything would have dried up.
You got a point there, Mike.
You would have been like, not my Bill. Come on, Bill. Your first lady watching you get the listen. He got the shit slapped out of him in front of the world.
We say, we can't even envision no shit like that, Mike.
Right.
I can't even spit that ass.
Listen, I was
even come out.
Right. I'm telling
oh, man.
Yo, to look at that, every woman, and I'm talking about a real woman, every real woman would have looked at her man after he got the shit slapped, and then Will turned around on some like fixing the shit on some like, that's next time you're gonna shut the fuck. No woman that I know would have sat there for the next 5 years all dry. You can't protect us. You cannot protect us.
Yo, Mike, hold on. Yo, Mike, imagine your woman talking about, come on, baby, get up. It's okay. Come on.
Right. Yo, there's your woman.
Next time, maybe you'll jump.
Your woman would have so much respect for you. I was saying yesterday, I was saying, if it was Suge Knight, and Suge Knight slapped the shit out of me, right? When Suge Knight would have been giving his acceptance speech, there would have been a mic pole. I would have been coming from backstage, and I would have cracked him over his fucking head. And they would have been like, go to commercial. And he could have beat my butt. But my baby would have been icing me up and down and be like, that's right, that's my man. That's right.
Yo, everybody, that's good to Mike Troy, man.
All right, y'all. Yo, Bill Wilson, thank you for having me, guys. Thank y'all.
Mike, before you go. Mike, you so quick. You fast. Mike, there you go. Mike, where you gonna be playing at? In case if people can
I'm in Massachusetts this week. I'm with Chris. I got like 20-something dates with him. Please follow me. I start up with him in Wilbur Theater this Wednesday through Friday. Follow me on my social media handles is Mike Troy 00. And again, I'm gonna test the waters just to see where he's at. And then I'm gonna come out with it. Yeah.
Yo, Mike, tell Chris if he need a little security, I got it. Just call me.
But Bill, you know what? That's why I felt bad for him, because he's non-confrontational and he don't go nowhere where he needs security.
We'll know.
Yeah. He doesn't like he's one of those guys that just walks around and he ain't around none of that rap stuff. If that would have been the Source Award, somebody would have got shot.
What? It would have been a whole brawl on stage.
Right. So, but I think, so that's why he doesn't travel with security. You rob him, but it'd be like
he just go to Knick games. He just go to Knick games. That's it.
Right. That's it. He doesn't, he flies his private jet around. Like he different, and he ain't going, but that's why I was so disappointed in Will, because I'm like, you kind of came off as the aggressor.
Exactly. And Mike, from the street aspect, I'm gonna let you go, but he gets no win. Will gets no wins for that. No. He gets no wins. He gets no brownie points. No. So I'm gonna let Yvette and Gina finish it out.
All right. Y'all be good. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Bye. Take care. Nice meeting you.
All right.
You're always
Same here.
welcome back. Put your schedule on my page. Anything.
Got
Love
you.
brother.
Got you.
Yeah,
All
I got
right.
a Facebook page.
So Vanetta and Gina.
Yes.
After all this, what are you still thinking? Do you still feel? I mean, what's your thought process on it? And I'll let you and Gina finish this out. Go ahead.
I think it's just unfortunate all the way around that that we're talking about such an incident. You know, who's right, who's wrong, whatever. I think it's just unfortunate that you know, we've had to be, you know, put on certain sides. I love them both. I support them both. I don't hate Will. I don't hate Chris. I just like both of their behaviors. You know, I'm glad both of them have apologized, and I'm glad they both see the seriousness of both of their actions and behaviors. It's unfortunate on the greatest night of Will's career, you know, this took place. It's sad and it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, but will he get past this? He will, just like when Kanye West got on stage with Taylor Swift, he got past that. You know, when ODB got on stage, when he felt the Wu-Tang should have won, he got past that. And he'll get past this. He will, like he did with the August thing. And he can get mad at August for that. That was Jada's fault.
I'm just gonna be a little smarty pants. If Chris Rock was your man and that happened to him, would you still think it was?
I mean, what the hell? You didn't hit him back? You gonna stand there and let him smack the hell out of you? Oh, you gonna get your ass when you get home.
Oh, please forget that. I'm gangster. I'm hitting Will back.
Thank you,
I'm going to go upside his head. I'm going
exactly. Because I've seen you walking the book like, wait, what's up?
I'm going for Jada and Will, both of them.
Gina, because like you started it, chick, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. I always start with 9 times out of 10, the women have started it. Yes.
And that's why I was saying I agree with you on
and
this.
He would not respond it without Jada responding a certain way. So
right.
Yeah, it's your fault.
I think she was
over women. So,
yeah.
You know, it goes back to the woman. Like, yo, contain yourself or your behavior so that your man don't have to leap and get hurt, killed, or be
right.
Will.
She could have changed her countenance. She could have been upset, and she could have been like, "When you got the baby, that's okay. Don't do that." She could have, but she didn't pull him back, and he went on. And now look what happened. Now here we are.
So far as the apology, I don't think Chris should apologize. He was the bigger man twice.
Yeah.
I don't think he should have apologized at all. He actually should have stayed quiet.
Yeah.
And went ahead and let Will do what he should have done that night. Apologize to him. I think he should have just left it alone. If he wasn't going to press charges, there was no need for him to even make a comment or a statement or anything. Just leave it alone. You were already the bigger man that night, and now you have to turn around and be the bigger man also the next day. That to me doesn't make sense to me.
And knowing my crazy ass, I'd have been like, if you're really sorry, let me slap you in front of everybody. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, let's get the camera.
Let's duke it out, MMA.
Because no, just let me slap the shit out you like you slapped me. You know what I'm saying? Because the bottom line, if it's never going to be a fair one. Because the fair one is that Will will always have the upper hand. The sad thing about this is that Will always be able to say, I slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is just the tainted. Will better hope that his career, you know, because what I've been reading is I think that the Oscars are thinking about trying to revoke his Oscar.
His membership? Oh, okay, yeah. I think he needs to be put on ice for a little bit. You got to punish him. He needs to be punished. Because that was not, if Chris doesn't want to press charges, I know, and I think in LA they can actually come after Will anyway, regardless if Chris presses charges or not, because they got the proof. So they
because it was assault. He can get in trouble for that because it was assault. With his hands on it.
Well,
unfortunately,
assault from a police standpoint is
battery.
Has to show a bruise or a laceration or something like that. If it doesn't show that, then it's harassment. But the thing is, it probably could have been, I don't know if it could have jumped to an aggravated harassment or something like that because it was on TV or something, or what's the matter, or maybe it was the fact that he meant to do it. Because the one thing about it, like I keep telling everybody, it was premeditated. He walked up there knowingly.
Exactly. He had a chance to turn around and go back to his seat, and he kept on going.
Deep.
Yes.
And that's why I keep telling people when people start talking about these emotions, there was no emotions involved. The emotions is you could have changed and stopped. Like I said, Malika and I said, I would have if that was Malika, it's like somebody said something in here. That was if you said something like that to Malika, I'd have been like, yo, dog, keep my wife's name out your mouth. I'll see you after the show.
That's it. And the crowd still would have laughed and stuff and like,
right.
They still thought that was a script. It was scripted.
Yep.
And then he could have addressed it seriously after the show.
And then all of a sudden, y'all have been, yo, they're in there fighting in the bathroom. Can you go get Malika? He trying to bang his head off the wall. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line. So that's why I talk about knowingly. And that's why I had such a big issue with what Will did. Because he doesn't get any wins smacking Chris Rock around. And that's why I use the analogies 50 Cent, Mike Tyson and stuff like that. Yeah, I know a lot of people always say, oh, those are hypothetical, those are moot points and stuff like that. They're not really, because people knowingly know what they do. It's just like, and I'm just going to deviate real quick. It's like the man that rubbed the feces in the lady's face. He knew he rubbed the feces in the lady's face. He didn't rub it in no man's face. You know what I'm saying? He didn't rub it in those young boys on the corner. Right. He went right past all them cats and went on the train and saw a woman minding her business, and then he did that. So when we start talking about what's the last straw and what's the this that caused this and the mental, let's be careful with stuff like that. You know, shout out to everybody chiming in. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster, with my lovely host, Malika Foster. And this is a Real Talk. This is all about the will. Thank you all for chiming in. I saw you, Lincoln. I see you, JC. I see so many of you. I see you, Brody. I just want to read you. I see you, Gary is in the building, Audrey, Annette. Just shout out to all of you, Lisa Clark, Eunice Collins. Shout out to Taylor. We saw so many of you. We appreciate you. We apologize. We're going to have to go back and read a lot of these comments and comment to you. So, Vanetta, people was coming at you. They was busting their guns because they didn't understand.
Listen. I don't take it personal. I understand my ground.
Yeah, no, listen, it's all right.
You're supposed to. You're supposed to.
Yeah, I just think it's just a sad situation.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. That
it's very unfortunate.
But it's something we need to talk about too, because it's still what they always say: the black on black crime is something that we need to talk about in our community.
Right.
And Pastor Greg, come on, he gonna pray.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
He gonna pray us out.
Yeah, I just got out of a meeting. Sorry for the lateness.
It's
pretty good meeting.
Good. Well, I know you'll tell me about it later. So, Vanetta, give us some positive affirmation so we can get out of here. Gina, give us some positive affirmation. Malika, give us some positive. Yeah, Malika, I'll give us some, and then Pastor, you can pray us out. Come on, Vanetta, give us some love.
Okay. I said, the train getting ready to pull into the
station. Let him pray.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time of coming together. Lord, we ask that, Lord, you would give us peace, that you would grant us your perfect will, that you would give us understanding in this very difficult time.
Yes.
We ask that, Lord, you would begin to speak to your people in this time, that, Lord, you would give us purpose and meaning. Give us direction in this time of uncertainty. We give you all the glory, all of the honor, and all of the praise. In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Praise Pastor. Home plate.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor.
You're welcome.
You might have to get your Will Smith going in there.
Pray for Will, right?
So go ahead, Vanetta, give us some positive affirmation.
Let's continue to be better and pray for Will, pray for Chris, pray for the Smith family, pray for each other. I think what has happened, as Mike Troy said earlier, we become so super sensitive over things. It's imperative that Martin Luther King said, hate is too heavy of a burden to carry. Love is much easier. I think if love was more in the room, amongst us is loving each other as brothers and sisters and kings and queens as we are, a lot of things that are happening within our community would not exist. And mental illness is an issue for us that we don't talk about. So let's continue to pray for our actors, our athletes, and all of us here, that we continue to stay in touch with each other and pray for each other. I'm a friend, Eugenia.
Okay, sister love.
If any, I would love for any of you, if any of you two are ever free to come on Wednesdays and we chop it up real strong. You know, I know Gina's been on before, but Netta, you have too. But if you ever get a chance to come back, it's, you know, it's good. I need that sister energy to come back, you know, and keep it 100.
I love my sisters, regardless. I love my sisters.
Gina, give us some positive love, sir.
So I just want to say, point taken, point granted, point accepted. Everyone's point of view is accepted in the situation. We just need to start listening to each other a lot more instead of reacting or responding. Yeah, Will may be going through something mentally, but who knows? Who knew? So I would just say that we just need to listen to each other more instead of raising our hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's try to some peace. You, sweetie?
Yeah. Use your words. Use your words.
I just want to thank you ladies also for chiming in. Your viewpoints are always respected and appreciated. And also to everybody that was typing, I apologize. Bill apologizes. It was just impossible. It was just so many that were coming in. So, you know, we will definitely do our best to go back and, you know, try and respond. But we really appreciate all the viewers. And it's been great sitting next to you, my love.
Oh, absolutely.
This was a hot topic. It was a hot topic today, Bill and Malika. Those, I mean, they was like,
oh
yeah. You had a lot of viewers. We were on it.
Oh, no, everybody was chiming in. We still here. Theo said Real Talk Chronicles is taken from a political documentary. What are you talking about? Made about a Coney student. No, I had to take one of them damn students. Take it from my ass. Don't what's wrong with you? Everybody, listen, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I appreciate you. Malika, appreciate you. Just the sponsors, Melba Wilson's on 114th Street, Chocolat on 120th Street, the Daily Arts Magazine on Amazon, the Ingram Taxes, and also Soft Illusions Art Gallery. So please, show some love, support. Listen, we're here Mondays, the first Mondays of the month. Al Taylor, the second Monday of the month, Dr. Marilyn Corder, the third Monday of the month, First Lady of Def Jam, Allison Williams, and the fourth Monday, Pastor Graves better get his game up. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop. He's been busy. He's been doing a lot of pastoral work and working with the communities and stuff. But it's Real Talk with Pastor Kevin Graves, the spiritual walk. Also, but we had to definitely take over this show tonight. And every Wednesday it's Kevin, Chuck, and Richard. And first and foremost, let me give my condolences to Chuck. His mother-in-law passed away.
Condolences, Chuck.
And prayers with you and your family.
My college buddy, my childhood friend, Bobby Green, him and his brother Daryl, they lost their mother too. So I got a lot of funerals I have to be attending this week. So and happy birthday to the birthday people out there.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
There was a lot of birthday people, Lorraine and stuff like that. And Pearl. Shout out to everybody that's chiming in, man. We appreciate you all. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. We are out of here. Ladies, hold on. We're going in the green room and shit.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thanks for having me too, Bill. I love you, Malika.
Love you, everybody. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.